into our program like a hurricane on January 30th of 2024. And prior to coming here, he admits that his life was pretty chaotic. But I will let him tell you guys more about his life.
Hello. Hey. You guys all look so lovely, so beautiful, so handsome tonight. I say that because before coming here, I was really nervous a little bit. I was surrounded by a lot of darkness, a lot of horrifying things. I had lost my house. I was in a really abusive relationship, struggling with addiction again, and found myself in a trap house. If you don't know what that is, it's a lot of drugs, needles, drug deals, danger, and so there I was, and there was a baby, a toddler, he called me Dad, from the girl that I was with, and so he was in that situation too, and being around him, I realized it pulled out in me, I don't want this for myself. I had used addiction really to kind of raise myself when I was a kid. When I used drugs, that's whenever I got my first job. And so that's how I learned to have a life, how to pay for things. And then suddenly I met this little boy, and it's that didn't work anymore. And I realized I didn't want to be modeling that for anybody. And so that's in the trap house gonna trap me. And I realized, that's not what I want, and I just, that's whenever I first really got to know God, and realize, that whenever you make that decision, He will support you in that. He will keep you safe, and I was praying daily, I would leave my house, and I would just walk. I'd take a bus, and I would just go anywhere but there, and I would just walk, and I would just practice hearing from God, practice hearing where He wanted me to go, practice hearing, encouragement, just learning what does His voice sound like, what does that sound like from within me, and I learned so much. And so I was walking around one day, and I didn't have a phone, nothing, and I was just God, you guide me. I trust that You will guide me and lead me where I need to go and back home safely. And I walked past a sign that said, "Need a job? Text 464646." And I was like, okay. And it was like a dream job. So then I started working at Amazon, doing delivery, and I would ride my bike or did an Uber, and I would actually walk past the apartments every day and didn't even know that's where I'd be staying. And I just remember being it's crazy. I just remember being how am I going to find a job that's close by? I didn't live anywhere close to any of these things, and it just all, works out. And listen to the story here. So yeah, I was walking around. Then there was somebody that had picked me up, taken me to the library, and he had gone to Hillcrest. And I was like, okay. And then somebody else mentioned Hillcrest. And I was like, okay, so I signed up for Hillcrest. And then Melinda, who is here tonight with me, thank you, she goes to church with me. She picked me up one day from the trap house. And she was talking about how she's friends with Donis. And she's like, try Hillcrest. And I'm like, I'm already signed on at Hillcrest. And then she's like, we're talking, and it's apparently not the same Hillcrest. And I'm like, what? And I was 2 weeks away from getting in with this other Hillcrest. And then Lisa calls me, and I was like, oh God, that's the Hillcrest for me. I heard her voice, and I just knew, I'm like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So I managed to find someone from work to stay on their couch. I stayed on their couch for 3 months, and they would take me to work, and that's when I got my car. And so then I arrived at Hillcrest, and there was a garnishment that happened on my paycheck. And it's I was feeling pretty good. I started getting comfortable. I was feeling pretty good. And then the garnishment hit, and suddenly I was back in this addiction mindset where I was I have to have my addiction to pull me up. And I'm so it's I'm in that mindset, but I'm going, I don't want that. I don't want that. I remember there was this thing that happened where somebody was supposed to go to AA with me, and they started texting me these weird things, and I knew that they had also been recently in that addiction. And suddenly, I'm realizing oh, this is not us going to AA. She's relapsed or something. I could feel that, and everything in me was don't go. And I remember I hit my knees in my apartment, and I'm just praying. I'm I was so sick to my stomach because I just knew it was right there. If I said yes, I'll meet you there. I could have, and I knew it. And I just remember being something in me, and I was just praying. I couldn't do anything besides reach out to God. I was please remind me why I'm sober. Remind me why I'm here. remind me why this isn't what I want. And then the answer came of like, this is the reason. Like, feel all that power that's outside of you. Feel all that power that's making you feel this way. Like, you don't want that outside, you want that inside of you. Like, that power comes from within. So then I'm like, I hear that and I calm down, and then suddenly, I'm telling myself, you know, it's gonna be okay. Like, I'm in the right place. I'm in the right place for this. And then it hits me, and I got so squirrely in my apartment, y'all, because it hit me, and I'm like, I'm telling myself, and some of you, I believe it, I'm like, this place cares about me. Like, I can't fail. Lisa's not gonna let me fail. Hillcrest isn't gonna let me fail. God's not gonna let me fail. Like, He brought me here. He's not gonna let me fail. And it just hit me, and it took all I had not turn up to the office and be like, you care about me! You actually care about me! And I cried. I cried like I never cried before, because I realized like that's the thing. Like, I never let something outside of me care about me. I never let God care about me. Like, He was always there, but I never let even my own mom, I never let anybody care about me. You know, but that's where like the power came from. You know, it was like letting people love me and realizing like I deserve that. And so, anywho, Bill, to finish this off, when I'm feeling fear, because me and LaFrance and Wendy have really worked through this, there's a song that will always come on the radio, and I like live by this now. It's by Maverick City. It says, hello peace, hello joy, hello love, hello strength, hello hope, it's a new horizon. Fear is not my future, you are. Sickness is not my story, you are. Heartbreak is not my home, you are. Death is not the end, Jesus, you are. And that always gets me through.
So, Braedyn has done some amazing things since he's been in this program, as you can see.
Give me that good news.
Yes, I know, he's been chomping at the bit for me to be able to get this to you. However, I'm gonna back up for half a second. So he came to me and he said, hey, I have this opportunity. He says, I want to talk through with you. He said, I have a friend that I go to church with that their son has been doing the Burning Man Festival in Nevada. And if you're interested, maybe you should apply. And he said, well, what do you think about this? And I said, listen, your time's coming to an end in our program. You are wanting to move to Arizona to be with your mom, and you could use that Burning Man Festival as kind of a new start to your new life in Arizona. He said, okay, I'm gonna apply. If I get it, fine. If I don't, okay. Well, lo and behold, he got chosen to be one of the volunteers for the Braedyn Festival. So, for those of you who don't know what that is, because I know a lot of people don't, it is a week-long, large-scale, thousands and thousands of people that go to the desert, and it's focused on community, art, self-expression, and self-reliance, and it's held in Black Rock City, which is just northeast of Reno, Nevada. They are guided by 10 stated principles, which is inclusion, gifting, decommodification, which is the strength of social entitlements and citizens' degree of immunization for market dependency. That's a long word. Self-reliance, self-expression, communal effort, civic responsibility, leaving no trace, participation, and immediacy. So not a lot of people get to go to this, and I think it's going to be a really great opportunity. And we budgeted for him to get a lot of the items that he needs to take with him. We budgeted that for this coming week. So, he will be there for a month. All right, now for the moment that he's been waiting for. So, since he came into our program on January the 30th, Braedyn has paid off $10,465.41. And if we figured it correctly, he will be leaving with several $1,000s when he leaves us in the middle of July. So he's done amazing things. He will continue to do amazing things, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for him.